Climate change risk refers to the financial, operational, and strategic risks arising from the physical impacts of climate change and the global transition toward a low-carbon economy. Topic 3 of the SCR program provides a comprehensive introduction to climate risk and explains how environmental disruptions can directly affect businesses, financial institutions, governments, and investors. The program emphasizes that climate risk is not limited to environmental damage, but extends into credit risk, market instability, operational disruption, and long-term economic performance. Understanding climate risk is therefore essential for organizations seeking to strengthen resilience, maintain competitiveness, and support sustainable economic development in an increasingly uncertain global environment. The topic identifies two primary categories of climate risk: physical risk and transition risk. Physical risk arises from the direct effects of climate change, including floods, storms, wildfires, droughts, rising sea levels, and changing weather patterns. Transition risk results from the economic and policy adjustments associated with the shift toward a net-zero carbon economy. These risks may emerge from regulatory changes, technological innovation, changing consumer preferences, or evolving investor expectations. The SCR program explains that both risk types can significantly affect asset values, business operations, financial stability, and long-term strategic planning across industries and geographic regions. The SCR program explains that climate risk develops through the interaction of hazards, exposure, and vulnerability. Hazards refer to climate-related events or conditions such as extreme heat or flooding. Exposure describes the presence of people, infrastructure, assets, or economic activities in areas vulnerable to climate hazards. Vulnerability reflects the degree to which systems or organizations can withstand and recover from climate impacts. The program emphasizes that organizations must evaluate all three components simultaneously to understand the severity of climate risk exposure. This framework enables companies and financial institutions to assess resilience, identify weaknesses, and prioritize mitigation or adaptation strategies effectively. One of the key concepts introduced in Topic 3 is stranded asset risk. Stranded assets are investments, facilities, or resources that lose economic value before the end of their expected useful lives due to climate-related changes. Fossil fuel reserves, carbon-intensive infrastructure, and outdated industrial technologies are common examples. The transition toward cleaner energy systems, stricter environmental regulations, and evolving market expectations can reduce the profitability or viability of these assets. The SCR program also highlights that stranded asset risks extend beyond physical infrastructure to include workforce displacement and human capital challenges associated with achieving a just and equitable transition. The topic further distinguishes between acute and chronic climate hazards. Acute hazards involve sudden and severe climate-related events such as hurricanes, floods, or wildfires that can cause immediate physical damage and operational disruption. Chronic hazards develop gradually over time and include long-term temperature increases, changing rainfall patterns, desertification, and sea level rise. Both forms of climate risk can significantly affect industries, infrastructure, agriculture, and supply chains. The program emphasizes that organizations must consider short-term disaster resilience alongside long-term adaptation, planning to manage the evolving frequency, intensity, and geographic distribution of climate-related hazards effectively. Another important focus of Topic 3 is the challenge of uncertainty in climate modeling and risk prediction. Climate projections involve varying degrees of uncertainty due to differences in emissions pathways, policy responses, technological developments, and natural climate variability. The SCR program discusses the limitations of hazard models, including data availability, geographic inconsistencies, and assumptions embedded within forecasting methodologies. Candidates are encouraged to understand both the strengths and weaknesses of climate modeling tools when evaluating risk exposure. This understanding supports more informed decision-making and helps organizations avoid over-reliance on single forecasts while developing flexible and adaptive risk management strategies. The program also explores indirect climate risks and climate-related opportunities affecting companies and sectors. Indirect risks include supply chain disruptions, migration pressures, resource shortages, market volatility, and reputational impacts resulting from environmental events or transition policies. At the same time, climate change creates opportunities for innovation, sustainable investment, renewable energy development, and climate-resilient infrastructure. Organizations that proactively manage climate risk may gain competitive advantages through technological leadership, improved stakeholder trust, and stronger long-term resilience. The SCR program emphasizes that climate risk management should balance defensive risk mitigation with strategic identification of emerging growth opportunities within the evolving sustainability landscape. Topic 3 concludes by emphasizing the importance of integrating climate risk into broader enterprise risk management and strategic planning frameworks. Financial institutions, corporations, and policymakers increasingly recognize climate change as a material financial and operational risk capable of influencing long-term stability and profitability. The program highlights the need for organizations to incorporate climate considerations into governance, investment decisions, operational planning, and regulatory compliance. By understanding physical risks, transition risks, stranded assets, and modeling uncertainties, professionals can strengthen organizational resilience and contribute to a more sustainable global economy. The topic establishes a critical foundation for later SCR topics covering climate risk measurement, scenario analysis, and sustainability governance.